targeting your B2B audience on LinkedIn is really amazing. Yeah, let me show you what you can do on LinkedIn and why I'm so excited about this. So on LinkedIn, if you have your campaign set up, you're going to be, you get the question like, do you want to target people through like audience attributes, like people who have been on your website already, saw your videos, are in a lookalike audience, maybe you uploaded some files or have a connection with your CRM. Those are the matched audiences. And the other thing that you see on the screen are the attributes. So let's go through the options of what you can target and what I'm particularly excited about. I would say like the most difficult option to choose is uploading your contact list or a campaign list. You can upload a CSV file with a template, and LinkedIn will try to match those people. I think with company lists, it is not as difficult and risky in terms of data privacy policies, but with contacts, you of course have to have consent in order to do that. So that is something that I would consider, especially if you have a long list of companies, for example. It needs to be at least 300 people, but it can be as large as 100,000 people or companies. That's one way. The second way is retargeting visitors or of your website, people who have seen your videos, or people who have interacted with your LinkedIn lead generation forms. A third way is to use any of the above categories. Let's say the people who have visited your website and have become a lead over the past 30 days. Now you can create a lookalike audience, just as you can do it on Facebook and Instagram ads. And LinkedIn will look at the people in the area that you want to target and match the most similar people into one audience based on the people who have already become your lead. Very interesting. And then we are in the deep end of the audience attributes. And I think this is where I am most excited. All of the above, it can be pretty technical and might have some hinges on the data privacy side, but the audience attributes are completely delivered for you by LinkedIn. What can we do? So let's hit that other tab while creating your campaign and switch to the audience attributes here. This shows you already that you have categories like company, demographics, education, job interests, and stuff like interest groups and traits, very similar to what you have on Facebook. So what is exciting here? You got the boring stuff, the obvious one like age and gender. Be careful not to use them if you do any kind of job listing. That is in most countries illegal to discriminate by age and gender. But for lead generation, that is absolutely viable to target just the age and genders that are most likely to convert. Yeah, and you will get all of those results afterwards, and you can decide like you want to focus on men, women, younger, older, or a mixture for different product lineups that you have. Then the company stuff. You can choose exactly which industry people are in and what size the company has in terms of number of employees. I think the company size is one of my favorites. And there's a little special one called company growth. How much employee growth do they have year over year, which can be an indicator of a booming business or a decreasing business that might need other services. Then, of course, you have education levels like degree, from which school they are from, and experiences. And here again, very special in the LinkedIn world, the job title and job functions. I would say this is the most important targeting type combined with company size that I use most frequently. Let's say for our example of Monday Rocks, HR managers with companies that are growing at least 25% per year and starting at a company size of 50 to maybe 500 people. Yeah, that would be already an awesome targeting group that is not possible to do anywhere else but on LinkedIn. And the interests, There are the normal interest groups that you might also be familiar with on Facebook. But again, here a special one. If you go for groups, you are finally able to retarget anybody who has joined any group. Maybe this is a bit limited. It needs to be a bit larger in terms of audience, of group size, so not the very small ones. But you can just search for the group names and you will find them. And this is a feature that I would love Facebook would provide, but I don't know how. Yeah. There used to be some hacks where like user IDs got extracted from LinkedIn groups that you could then retarget. But since GDPR, nobody's willing to take those risks anymore. Already you can see that the targeting options are amazing. And let's apply this to the concrete case study. What are ideas for Monday Rocks? Of course, as I mentioned, job title based, like team leader, like head of, like HR manager. Then it could be job functions. It could be company size, company growth based, or the more advanced stuff, retargeting people who have visited their websites, specific websites in the past 7, 14, 30, 90 days. I have to say that the date range is not as detailed as on Facebook or on Google. So you pretty much just can say like people have visited all websites or this specific one, but you're not that flexible with the date range. But where you're pretty flexible is with video views, and you don't even need the insights tag on it. And that means all the targeting is in the hands of LinkedIn, and they have to also manage that data privacy risk. Yeah, so video views means anybody who has watched your video for more than 25% can be targeted over a certain period of time. I think it's like 30, 60, 90, 120 days. This already should give you some very interesting ideas on how you could target your people on LinkedIn. But if you have any questions about that, leave that at Slido. The next step is to make it concrete and to actually create a campaign. And the first basic campaign everybody should do is a content promotion one. Let me tell you about it in the next video.